Only hours ago, the internet was rocked by the news that Chrisean Rock had mysteriously vanished, sparking a flurry of rumors, anger, and fear. Fans frantically sought answers, with Baby Junior's name going viral around the world. Even Blueface's. Most loyal fans went silent in fear, but now a terrifying new chapter has begun. Chrisean Rock has been found alone in a rundown house, not in the safety of her home or surrounded by loved ones. Following an anonymous tip that led authorities to the dilapidated motel outside of Los Angeles, authorities quickly arrived. Police confirmed the discovery, and Child Protective Services were dispatched to the scene. What's most disturbing is that Baby Junior was not there. Witnesses report that Chrisean was found in a distressed state, with tears streaming and a bundle of handwritten notes in his hands. This disturbing revelation only serves to further enlarge the mystery surrounding their disappearance, leaving the public in the dark. Anxiety grew as people sought clarification on Chrisean Rock's true intentions. Was it a desperate plea for assistance, or something more sinister? Who was responsible for the anonymous tip that brought authorities directly to her? Some blamed Blueface's family, while others suspected a close friend of betraying her. One thing became glaringly obvious. What started as a troubling situation had turned into something much darker. What happens next could change everything. The drama that was developing didn't start with a bang. However, a deafening silence. More than 36 hours passed with no update from Chrisean Rock, no Instagram posts, tweets, or live streams, just an eerie void where her once vibrant, unfiltered online presence used to dominate. For someone so used to sharing her highs and lows with the world, her abrupt disappearance sparked immediate concern and speculation. The absence felt heavy, as if the digital air itself had thickened with tension. Chrissy's last public appearance was heartbreaking and raw. Her face was captured on camera as she left the courthouse, her eyes swollen and her lips bloodshot from the shock of the devastating news she had just received. The judge had delivered a swift and uncompromising decision, awarding Blueface's mother, Carissa, emergency custody of Baby Junior. The decision was a final blow, taking the child away from Chrissy's care and placing it under immediate protective measures. For many, the scene was heartbreaking, seeing a mother clearly devastated by the loss of her child. The court decision prompted Child Protective Services to launch an investigation right away, looking into Chrissy's home conditions, mental health, and capacity to provide a safe environment for Baby Junior. This development caused a sharp rift in public opinion and sent shockwaves through the online community. Chrissy's loyal supporters swiftly rallied around her, portraying the custody dispute as just another instance of a broken system that too frequently punishes vulnerable mothers instead of providing support. They claimed that Chrissy's outbursts and struggles were pleas for assistance rather than evidence of unfitness. On the other hand, detractors cited Chrisean's history of instability and her public emotional outbursts as evidence that the intervention was required to protect the child's well-being. To them, the chaotic lifestyle she led, coupled with her mental health issues, was so publicly displayed on social media that it highlighted the urgent need for protective measures. The debate was intense and divisive, with both sides taking sides. Utilizing social media as a platform for justice, compassion, and condemnation, while Chrissy's silence only served to increase the mystery and anxiety. Fans conjectured intensely. Was she withdrawing to recuperate? Was she overwhelmed and shedding tears behind closed doors? Or was something more sinister going on? Her silence became a symbol of her loneliness, a sharp contrast to the lively woman who had once demanded attention with unafraid honesty. As the hours passed, this Chrissy's disappearance was more than just a physical disappearance. It was a stark reminder of how quickly the spotlight can turn cold and how the very platforms that once gave her a voice can become echo chambers of judgment. In this charged atmosphere, the line between private pain and public spectacle blurred, and Chrissy's silence spoke volumes, forcing the world to confront the tensions of public scrutiny and motherhood mental health. The story was far from over, But in those quiet hours, the first cracks had already appeared in the fragile facade of a life lived in public view. One woman's battle was being played out on the world stage, and then came the unthinkable. Chrissy disappeared that very night. She did not return to her sister's home, and she did not respond to frantic calls and messages from friends and her manager. By day 2, the dilemma of how to protect mothers under pressure, when intervention becomes necessary, and when it becomes a form of punishment. Her closest supporters, including her hairstylist, publicly begged for news of her safety. As the social media craze intensified, a rumor spread on Reddit that Chrissy had been seen by herself in a dilapidated motel on the outskirts of the city. There were no pictures or evidence, only mounting fear. Blueface himself was unusually silent, posting cryptic statements that hinted at her hidden agenda. Meanwhile, Carissa was allegedly attempting to obtain full custody using leaked confidential filings, claiming Chrissy's emotional instability and creating a dangerous environment for baby Junior. In light of Chrissy's well-known intense and turbulent love for her child, the public's fears grew. Had Chrissy hurt herself? Was she planning to leave, with baby Junior to avoid the constant attention and legal disputes? The accusations came at precisely 9:14 a.m. The stillness was broken that morning when an anonymous 911 call alerted the authorities about a woman who fit Chrissy's description, holed up in a roadside motel for 2 nights. Police arrived within 30 minutes and found Chrissy fully clothed but exhausted and distraught, lying among strewn notebooks, snacks, and unopened baby bottles. She was carrying only a half-empty duffel bag and clutched a picture of baby Junior. Only emotional evidence, including handwritten notes revealing her anguish, including a half-finished letter titled, "If I Don't Make It Back," and scribbles, was discovered. Confessing, "I lost him. I lost everything." Then, a shocking discovery was made. A prepaid burner phone with a single received call was linked to Carissa. The story changed. Was this a rescue or a setup? The public was filled with theories that Carissa had planned the anonymous tip, turning what appeared to be intervention into a calculated move. Chrissy remained silent during questioning until she muttered, "I figured y'all would come." Hunger, sleepless nights, and a desperate need to get away from the constant criticism and betrayal. When asked about baby Junior, her response was, "He's safe, but not with me, and that's what's killing me." However, the story took a turn for the worse when a hotel employee disclosed that Chrissy hadn't come alone, but had instead arrived with a hooded woman carrying a baby carrier. Surveillance footage verified the woman's departure hours later with baby Junior, and internet detectives soon recognized the woman as, in a cryptic Instagram story, Chrissy's best friend accused others of phony prayers and hinted at deeper betrayal. Blueface finally broke his silence with a dismissive tweet, handled the next chapter followed by a laughing crying emoji, drawing widespread backlash for seemingly trivializing a serious crisis. Blueface's cousin is igniting theories about whether Chrissy entrusted her child to someone she trusted, or if the baby was taken amid her unraveling, adding fuel to the fire. As the story progressed, Chrissy transcended from being a reality star, caught in a media storm, to becoming a symbol of the complex intersections of mental health, motherhood, and fame. Meanwhile, Child Protective Services released a neutral statement stating that Chrissy had been found and interviewed. The investigation was still ongoing, but off-the-record whisper hinted at a deeper reckoning, an assessment of both Chrissy's mental health and the emergency custody system as a whole that allowed Carissa's "the fight for Chrissy's and baby Junior's" future had only just begun, and the world was watching every painful moment. As everyone tries to contain the fallout, Chrissy has once again withdrawn, becoming more solitary, silent, and closely watched than ever. Meanwhile, baby Junior is growing up in the care of people Chrissy no longer trusts, a reality that pierces deeply. However, just when it seemed like the worst was over, a new storm was brewing on the horizon. Hours after Chrissy was discovered at that motel, Exhausted and confused but still alive, the online community let out a tentative sigh of relief, only to prepare for the chaos that would soon unfold. No one anticipated this. A video that was time-stamped at precisely 12:46 a.m. threatened to destroy everything. What does it reveal that could unravel it all? A few seconds prior to the enigmatic SUV carrying baby Junior, she drove off into the night. At the exit, the hooded woman paused, looked back toward the motel room for a moment, and then gave a subtle wave, as if aware of the camera. The internet froze, wondering, was that Chrisean? Did she willingly hand over her child? Was this some premeditated act? As TikTok detectives examined the footage frame by frame, scrutiny exploded. A figure that was unmistakably Chrisean Rock appeared just beyond the edge of the doorway, cloaked in shadow. She was wearing the same clothes that the police had found her in, and she wasillantly watching without protesting or following. Inquiries flooded social media. Was this a forced surrender, a failed escape, or a moment of heartbreaking resignation? Then, the backlash sparked Blueface's sister Kali, who immediately reshared the clip with the cold caption, telling everyone that she was unstable and gave that baby up like luggage. The post went viral, garnering millions of views. Of views in a single hour, Kali didn't stop there. She went live on Instagram, accusing Chrisean of leaving her son behind and congratulating CPS for stepping in. "My brother isn't the villain," she said, adding, "The baby's in good hands." Outraged fans accused the family of planning a sadistic show that took advantage of Chrisean's suffering without showing any empathy. However, during Key's livestream, Chrisean's own cousin added, "You don't know the half of it." Chrisean believed she was giving Junior to someone safe. A darker theory emerged after she was deceived into giving up her child to a member of Blueface's family in order to gain legal advantage. CPS later confirmed that the woman in the SUV was related to Carissa Blueface's mother. The revelation devastated Chrisean. Witnesses who claim she lost control, hurling furniture and yelling, "She stole him." The emotional turmoil was so severe that authorities sedated her and requested an on-site psychological evaluation. The footage, which was edited with eerie soundtracks and dramatic captions, depicted a mother's worst nightmare in real time, and as celebrities weighed in, the public's empathy grew. Insider reports said she was overwhelmed by betrayal, paranoia, and isolation, demanding immediate legal counsel. Her attorneys are now involved, suggesting possible coercion and manipulation, and hinting at potential criminal investigations. Misa Hilton bemoaned the simultaneous devastation caused by the legal system and social media, while Summer Walker questioned the lack of real support. There were rumors that Chrisean was receiving round-the-clock psychiatric care and was admitted to a private rehab facility in Malibu. But Blueface posted a studio video of himself laughing and making fun of her breakdown, which sparked a lot of backlash from fans who referred to it as abuse. Then Chrisean's manager shared a chilling preview of a recent interview in which Chrisean sobbed and shook his head and said, "If something ever happens to me, no, it wasn't because I didn't love my son. It's because they broke me." The video went viral, and the demand for justice and truth grew stronger as the battle blurred the lines between reality and spectacle, attracting fans, journalists, advocates, and celebrities. Hashtags like Slark, Free, Chrisean, and Mental Health matters trended, overflowing platforms with sincere appeals and conspiracy theories. Viral videos asked why no one stepped in when Chrisean's silence was a cry for assistance. Rumors and fake headlines circulated unchecked. CPS investigations, family betrayals, and legal threats were leaked. But one thing was evident: the public had chosen to ignore Blueface, who had once been in control, in favor of a chorus demanding accountability. And then the unexpected: an unverified leaked audio recording revealed a phone conversation between Blueface and his cousin, the woman who took baby Junior. The cousin admitted that she believed she was giving the child to Blueface's aunt without knowing about the legal proceedings. Blueface's laughter and remark, "You handled it smoothly," shocked many by confirming that Chrisean hadn't given up her child voluntarily but had been outwitted. Chrisean's legal team also alluded to criminal activity while social media was demanding. Repercussions. Chrisean herself shared a spooky picture of a medical bracelet with the straightforward remark, "Still here," on Instagram during this chaos. Fans gathered, urging her to persevere, fight back, and take back her life. Just when it seemed like the complicated story of Chrisean and baby Junior had reached its lowest point, an even more heartbreaking piece of the puzzle, this time from a source who was surprisingly close to Chrisean's former best friend, known only as T. The leak came to light. Appeared as a video, a raw and painfully intimate shot taken inside the motel room where Chrisean was discovered when she vanished. There, sitting on the edge of a threadbare bed, Chrisean's face is etched with exhaustion and despair. Her voice breaks as she reveals the emotional torment that had been kept out of the public eye. Chrisean's words cut through the noise like a sharp blade in the clip. She had been promised by those around her that baby Junior would be returned to her, after her confession reveals the crushing weight of betrayal, not only by the legal system, but also by the very people she believed to be on her side. The video's uncensored nature makes it clear that the entire situation was a lie. She was told that it was a temporary legal maneuver meant to calm the courts to satisfy procedural demands without permanently taking the child from her care. Baby Junior was taken away permanently instead of for a brief pause. "Not like this," she says. The anguish is evident. "Not without my baby." Her words echo a mother's deepest fear and heartbreak, and the source of this footage is T, who was once a confidant and someone Chrisean leaned on during her darkest hours. It is impossible to dismiss her pain as fake or exaggerated, as every tear and falter in her voice reveals a woman pushed to the brink, not just by loss but by deception and broken trust. The footage flips the narrative once again, raising new questions about loyalty, complicity, and the true nature of the alliances surrounding Chrisean. Social media exploded the moment the video surfaced. Supporters fiercely rallied behind Chrisean, their empathy intensified by the realization that her battle was not only legal, but also deeply personal and emotional. Critics, on the other hand, sharpened their knives, some accusing her of, while legal insiders leaked hints that T might be called to testify under oath, a Chrisean of weakness. Others are wondering why they chose to share such a vulnerable moment. Was this an act of genuine concern, or part of a larger, more calculated game? The implications are enormous. Her testimony could reveal what she knew when she knew it, and whether she was involved in arranging or permitting baby Junior's transfer. To Blueface's family, the courts may soon reveal layers of manipulation that have been hidden up until now, and Chrisean's legal team is reportedly preparing a robust defense. This video, along with growing evidence of coercion and emotional trauma, could be crucial in changing the custody dispute, but it also highlights the more tragic reality of how celebrity mental health issues and the legal system can occasionally collide with devastating results. As the world watches and waits, wondering how much deeper this heartbreaking story can go, the public erupted in accusations. Was T complicit? Did she betray? The raw confession in that motel room is not just a moment of vulnerability. It's a rallying cry and a desperate plea for justice for her child and for a system that many believe has failed her spectacularly. It's clear that Chrisean's fight is far from over in this unfolding drama. What started as a custody dispute has turned into a horrific tale of manipulation, heartbreak, and public scrutiny. It serves as a stark reminder of the thin line separating love lost from the harsh spotlight of fame. Listen, I was just trying to document everything as it happened, keeping a record in case things took a turn for the worse. However, the fans didn't see it that way, accusing me of betraying her rather than documenting a brief defense on social media. The criticism wasn't just on social media, it was more intense. According to a recent leak from Chrisean's legal team, T may be called to testify under oath regarding her involvement in that motel handoff. They want to know what she knew when she knew it, and whether she was working with Chrisean all along. And that's just the beginning. This is the twist that started the firestorm. Chrisean shared a calm, "No matter what they say, he's safe now. That's all that matters," was the caption for a happy selfie of baby Junior, holding him while wearing a shirt that was emblazoned with "Family First." The reaction was explosive. Fans accused her of theft disguised as love, calling out the blatant manipulation behind the Family First facade. They saw it as a sick victory, not a reunion. Then, out of nowhere, Blueface went live, dropping a bombshell no one saw coming. He openly admitted, "Yeah, we did what we had to do." Then, with chilling finality, he delivered words that left the entire internet silent, words that no one could forget. But Blueface's chilling final words made one thing clear: if Chrisean wants her son back, she's going to have to fight tooth and nail for him. "We've got more receipts," he warned. A threat hung heavy in the air, igniting new waves of speculation. "What else are they hiding?" he asked. "Call it dirty if you want, but she's getting the help she needs now that baby's safe." The truth is that this battle is far from over. Behind the scenes, insiders whisper that Chrisean is preparing a powerful statement, possibly even a lawsuit or revealing interview that could reveal the entire story. Meanwhile, her silence is deafening. Her social media remains untouched aside from that haunting hospital bracelet photo and a flood of raw emotion from her supporters. The next move could cost someone much more than custody, so brace yourself. This story is just getting started. You just saw a heartbreaking story of betrayal, manipulation, and heartache. Chrisean Rock didn't just disappear or fall apart for no reason. They were caught in a well-planned setup, a pawn in a game much bigger than themselves. Now that the world knows the truth, someone she trusted betrayed her. The video tells a story that words can't hide from her. Since her tears were sincere and her silence was louder than any scream, the questions still stand. Was Chrisean really falling apart? Or was this the only thing she was doing to protect herself from a system that was meant to wear her down? Was T an ally or an accomplice? With Blueface implying that there are more receipts, what secrets are they still keeping hidden? What will happen next?